Okay, further to the whole class attainment visual, we then go into a variety of reports for progress and development, which is more specific to groups. Now, a bit of a whistle-stop tour to give you a flavour of each one of these, and the key analysis that's part of each of those visuals. So again, we go to the Early Essence main menu, EYFS reports. After whole class attainment, it's quite logical to work your way down through the reports. So from whole class attainment, we might have identified an aspect in particular where the data didn't reflect good progress, most importantly, and maybe developmental levels that were lower. So again, same, select your class within your year group and the assessment date. Quite obvious, but you can overlook it sometimes. You need to make sure you are selecting the correct assessment date, because the whole system is about development and progress to date or live per term. So it will change with expectations as you move through these. So in this case, we'll look at Spring 2. Now, when we looked at whole class attainment, we identified that number was lower attaining, lower in progress. So we'd select number and we'd update that. Again, you can see everything can go in an Excel report. You've got your filters. Again, it will identify children with missing data, most crucially baselines. And then we have a visual. Now, basically, the three greens are expected development per term. So first term, second, third. That can be set by your administrator and personalised to your school if that's not the measure that you use. And same with progress. The reason we have a left to right visual is because children down here baselined lower. So Graham, in this case, baselined at 8 to 20 developing, which is there, and there's his 3 steps for personalised progress. Obviously, when we come higher, we have Sally, who baselined at 16 to 26 secure. So her 1, 2, 3 progress steps, expected progress, are different. What you want to see is the children, by the end of the academic year, being at least 3 steps progress. And what is particularly good is the lower attainers, if we can accelerate their progress, we're also narrowing the gap between where they started and typical development. Below is the analysis. Each box is clearly labelled. It will tell you the typical rate of progress by term. In this case, Spring 2 is expected to be 2 development points. 21 of 25, which is all children, have made that expected progress. And then we break it down into their baseline groups to make sure your provision is meeting the needs of all those separate baseline groups. This is the super good news, which is the accelerated progress. Again, all children first, and then the baseline groups. Now, with that being expected and accelerated progress, we now have on track for typical development. By term, described again, all children and the baseline groups. And then we have end of year expectation, which is your summative data. All children, baseline groups. Ultimately, if your development is not great on track, at the end of the year, your summative won't be great. However, if you've got really strong progress and good accelerated, that will improve throughout the year. To have all those filter criteria in one accessible, easy report, you'll notice that they're all listed there, but most importantly, comparatively. So males versus females, SEN, non-SEN, and it will tell you how many children in the group. So some are born, 7 of 8 are making typical progress. Some are born no, 14 of 17. So it gives you an idea about whether that particular set is meaningful and how much you can read into the data. So again, progress, accelerated progress, on track for development, and summative data for the end of the year. That is the class and cohort visual, quite detailed but very powerful.